Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back today here. What is good, everybody? Welcome back here today. You are
Yes,
talking
sir.
sports with MG Dots, and we have Corrupt here today, ladies and gentlemen. And by the title and thumbnail, I don't even have to explain, bruh. We got some NBA discussions because we got a lot we need to talk about, bruh. We have a lot we need to talk about. But, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this, y'all better hit the like button. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Corrupt's channel. Link is in the description. And yeah, man. Make sure you guys support the channel. Today, it has been brought to my attention that Corrupt has an announcement. We will save that for later, but we have a lot of NBA topics. And I just want to say these are going to be some good ones. I like some of the things that I have in store here today. So let's go. Karam, he coming in hot. He says, "Are the Jazz frauds?" I don't trust the Jazz.
Yo.
I
Ooh.
don't trust the Jazz in
Yeah, I
big
don't
games.
trust the Jazz, but I do trust Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, yeah. If basketball worked to where one player could just show up and and that can just count as a win, it would be great. But that's not how it works. They need more than just Donovan Mitchell to show up, and it seems like the Clippers are their kryptonite because what I seen the other night was crazy. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have Corrupt here today. Corrupt, how are you doing today, sir?
I am doing just fine, been chilling, been working my butt off in school, and the Spurs are in the play-in. So I'm excited. I'm having a good day right now. What's up, Denzel? What's up, Karam? How you guys doing today? And yeah, it's just that's been it.
Yes, yes. Karam says they blew another lead on Tuesday. Yeah, that's what I said. The Clippers just own them. Just point blank period. They just own them.
You see
But
what
what's up?
Donovan said about that
What
after
do you
the game?
say? What do you say?
He said it's the same shit. It's the same shit like twice. He said that twice.
Yeah, bro. I mean, they literally just choked to the Clippers. Like the
Nick!
Clip- the Clippers were notoriously known for choking, and you choke to the team that chokes the most over recent history. Like, I don't understand how that happens. What's up, Asia?
What's up,
Knicks
Asia?
the Spurs aren't what they aren't in the plane right now.
Because they just lost by 1 point yesterday. Yes. When the Lakers lose today, we'll be in the play-in again.
Yeah, hopefully the Jazz don't choke to another LA team today.
That is tough.
But that's crazy that the Spurs and the Lakers are fighting for the last play-in spot. I mean, the Spurs, it's like they don't. It doesn't really matter if you guys make the play-in or not, because it's like you guys just want to be in the lottery. The Lakers is just like it's just so much more disappointment that adds to their already disappointing season. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And what's funny enough is that brings us into the first topic I wanted to talk about today.
Oh, wow.
Is we all know the Lakers, even if by the hair of LeBron's skin they do make the playoffs, they are getting washed in the first round or they're getting obliterated in the play-in. So I think it's time for us to move on with this season for the Lakers. But what is next? Like you got the off season, you got next season, you still have LeBron James, that last of his prime that you can squeeze out of him. What is next for the Lakers, Corrupts?
Well, okay. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna give options to this because I don't think there's a necessarily a what's next. Well, actually, okay. So what I think that they're going to do is I think that they're going to try and retool the team back up real quick and still try to win it with LeBron, right?
Yep.
That's what I think they're trying to do, and they could do that in multiple kinds of ways. They can do a quick retool, keep AD, keep LeBron, of course, run with that duo still, and try to just get better role players around them because God, they do need better role players, and try to get maybe Russell Westbrook is not going to work, so get him away, and try to actually do things for the team, right? Another option is because Anthony Davis is continuously being injured over and over again, is to trade away AD and try to get another star beside him, or maybe even just make the team, the bench better in general, and try to win that way. Right? I think that I don't think it's a possibility that they just trade away both AD and LeBron. I don't think that's a thing. I think they're going to try to keep LeBron the rest of his contract, try to win with LeBron now, and they're going to try to what's it called? retool around him. That's what's next for the Lakers, really. This offseason is just getting rid of Russell Westbrook, deciding on the future of Anthony Davis, which I think they're going to keep him personally. And then, of course, retool the roster around him.
Yeah, I think the Lakers, I mean, like I said, it's a disappointing season. And it's a lot. I mean, obviously, you need to get rid of Russell Westbrook. It has to happen. No ifs, ands, or buts. No, nothing about that. You got to get rid of Russell Westbrook. Um, and then you do have to decide on Anthony Davis. They'll keep AD, so it's just that's kind of set in stone. And yeah, I think they'll keep Anthony Davis. What will happen with the other teams? I don't know. With the other players like Monk, like Reeves, I think they'll keep those guys, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
If you are the Lakers, are you keeping Anthony Davis? Oh, yeah, interrupted. If you're the Lakers right now, you're the GM, are you keeping Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
You are?
He still is one of the more talented players,
Yeah.
So one of the more talented players in the league. It's just he can't stay healthy, bro. He can't stay healthy. But last time he was healthy, fully healthy throughout the course of the season, they won a championship. So the LeBron and Anthony Davis duo can work. At least for this next season, you got to keep Anthony Davis. I mean, he's 29 years old, so he's still at the point of his prime. Didn't even hit the age of 30 yet. Still can do a lot of great things. And I think the LeBron and AD duo shown it could work. It's just the pieces around them have to change. The pieces around them have to change.
I agree. What's up, Coach Dante? What's up, Big Play Slay? The Lakers fan in the chat. What's up?
Yeah, it seems like Big Play Slay wants to trade away Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Remember that first? You saw that first comment? We need to trade AD. What's up, Jacob? What's up, bro?
Yeah. You know what's funny about that is that Big Play Slay claimed to be like the AD fan or the AD guy a few months ago. Now he's like, oh, we gotta trade.
He was an AD fanboy, remember?
Yeah, he was an AD fan. Everyone said, "Oh, you bandwagon." He was like, "No, I'm not, bro. I'm an AD fan, bro. I like AD, bro. He's my favorite player, bro." It's crazy, Big Play Slay.
Karam said, "You know what needs to change for the Lakers is their mentality."
That as well. I know Josh. He spoke on it multiple times this season. The Lakers played soft. They played soft. They just backed down to teams. They didn't play aggressive defensively and offensively. They just take stupid shots and they just don't give enough effort in order to win. So their mentality is just like, all right, well, we have LeBron James, we have Russell Westbrook. Let's just make them do all the work. And you got guys like Malik Monk and Austin Reeves, like I brought up earlier, who can put in work, but it's just not working. Their mentality is bad. Even Anthony Davis, defensively, remember Anthony Davis is one of the best defenders in the league. Defensively, he was playing a little bit softer this year too, even when he was fully healthy. So it was the Lakers have been an embarrassment in this season, and their mentality is bad. But what you have to say?
I was about to say, and shooting wise, Anthony Davis also regressed a little bit this season on that too. He was still very good in the paint. But shooting wise, 3-point range, and I think like mid range shots, he was clearly a little bit worse than he has been in the past. So, and Big Play Slay says, oh no, hold on. As much as I love AD, the injuries are too scary for me because it's not like he's completely injury prone, but LeBron is taking full control of this team. Our roster is decent, but not great. And then he goes on to saying, so by having AD's value on our team, we can get something legitimate for him because there's going to be that one team that understands AD's talent and takes him on their team.
Yeah, but I think with Anthony Davis, I actually kind of disagree. Like people, yes, obviously someone would obviously trade for him if you were down to do that. But you're not going to get as much value as you would before because he's been hurt the last 2 seasons, because we haven't seen a fully healthy Anthony Davis, because his 3-point and mid-range jump shooting, which he was great at the peak of his career, he has regressed that. Obviously, he's gotten better inside the paint. He led the league in points in the paint when he was healthy, but I think AD's value went down. And if you're going to trade AD for who? Like, it's like you got to look at the market. Who are you honestly trading Anthony Davis for? Who? Jeremy Grant? No, that's a lost L trade for the Lakers already. Like, who are you trading AD for?
The only disgruntled star really that could say that you could be like, oh yeah, we can trade for this guy, we can make a move for this guy, is honestly potentially what Donovan Mitchell, and even then, that doesn't really make any much sense because first off, I don't really know how that front court. Yeah, I don't really know how that front court's going to work when you
Hmm.
have Donovan Mitchell and LeBron James, and then you have no Anthony Davis since he's traded away. And
Hmm.
besides what, like maybe Donovan, who am I forgetting? Yeah, Donovan is really the only like the most popular disgruntled star you could say right now that could potentially leave his team. Like you said, Jeremy Grant. Um, no, Anthony Davis is better. I'd rather have Anthony Davis. And yeah, there's really nobody else that is like, as far as
Fortunate.
we know, disgruntled
Yeah.
with their team and mad with their team. It's only Donovan Mitchell right now, and
Yeah.
maybe a couple of other guys like under the radar guys.
And like I mean, and a guy like the only guy I can think was Bradley Beal, but he's a free agent this year, so he's gonna choose where he signs. So you can't trade for Bradley Beal. So it's just you really have no one to trade for. All the stars in the league right now kind of have their spots set. It's all about,
Yeah,
those teams building around their stars and ultimately trying to get to that championship level. So when you look at it, honestly, it's just you really don't have a lot of options to trade Anthony Davis. You're not going to get what you really want for him. And you might as well just keep AD on the squad, at least for next season, until he hits that age of 30, until we see a hopefully healthy season of him, because there's still talent there, but teams are not going to give up their stars to trade for your injured star. They're not
yeah,
teams are not going to do that. Like it's just not going to happen. Like the best thing you guys could have possibly done, and this is like crazy to say, but the only star that you could have gotten that has like the same value as AD right now is probably James Harden, but we took him at the deadline. So now you can't that's out of the window. That was literally the only other like disgruntled star in this season that was like, I'll be down to get traded. And obviously we have him now, so that's off the books. So yeah, I gotta keep AD and LeBron together. Y'all have to, and you know, it's just what we're gonna see. Because like we said, this duo has won a championship. Their first year together, they won a championship. All the Lakers have to do, build the right team around them. No more Russell Westbrooks, bro. I'm sorry, Westbrook is a cool guy, but he can't. He doesn't fit with LeBron and AD, and he's not even doing good when LeBron and AD are out. When he is the number one option, like so, no more Westbrook, no more guys like DeAndre Jordan, Dwight Howard's getting old and washed. You can't surround your stars with these old, washed up players. Carmelo Anthony's cool, but he's just not enough to get the job done. So, but that's all I have to say about the Lakers. But you have anything else to say about this?
Iverson asked if we think the Lakers make the plan. At this point, I'm a guess no. Still a very good chance. There's like 8 games left for every team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess no. I'm gonna say the Spurs and the Pelicans will get in the play-in, but who knows? But yeah,
Um, yeah,
that's pretty much it for the Lakers for me.
yeah, I agree. The Spurs and Pelicans are probably gonna get in. Wow, can't believe I'm saying that. DeJounte Murray, hey, he's a god, and the Spurs they could win some games.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
corrupts. Next topic: the Chicago Bulls. They started
Mm.
off the season. It was looking bright. It was
Wow.
looking all amazing. It was looking fun. It was looking good. Levine, doing his thing. DeRozan playing at an MVP type level at a certain point of the year. He's still playing at a great level, but obviously he's kind of calmed down a little bit since the MVP level, but he still can put up 27 a game over the last stretch. You got Lonzo Ball getting injured. Obviously, Caruso's got injured. The Bulls kind of had a mid-season, or I guess you could say this is the end of the season. They kind of have a fall off, kind of had a collapse. What is your thoughts on the Bulls' struggles as of late?
Man, I think like Karam said, Billy Donovan has been putting up some weird, like, just weird rotations and like, just hasn't been Billy Donovan we know for the past
Hmm.
couple of months. I mean, holy crap! It's like sometimes it's like they don't have a fucking plan besides it's the fourth quarter, just give it to DeMar DeRozan or
Hmm.
just ISO ball or something like that. It's been very very weird these last couple months, and I know that Billy Donovan's then is better than this. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
we've seen Billy Donovan be able to actually coach and put the right lineups up. I don't know what it really is. I mean, I can tell you a couple of things, right? First off, they don't have Lonzo Ball, right? That hurts them a lot. They were dealing with injuries all season long, right? But they're still putting up a great record. To put it simply, they're just not as good as the other Eastern. To me personally, they're just not as good as the other Eastern teams also, and that's clear as day when they're 0-16 against top three
Top
Eastern
three seeds.
top three
Hmm.
seeds of the Eastern Conference, or actually just in general. Actually, my bad.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's very disappointing. Um, I know DeMar DeRozan is the king of the fourth quarter, but I don't really know MG. Has he really been doing that lately? Like, has he been like, no, not really.
Not really.
Zach LaVine's been kind of on and off with a couple of injuries, right?
Hmm.
It's kind of a weird situation over there with the Bulls, and even when they are healthy, besides Lonzo Ball, and I'm forgetting somebody else. Um,
Patrick Alex Russo was hurt a little bit. Patrick Williams just came back, so.
yeah, but they're all back right now.
Hmm.
Besides those kind of guys right now, it's besides Lonzo Ball really, because Lonzo Ball's been the number one guy for them that's been out.
Hmm.
When they're healthy, it's like they're just not as good as other teams. And honestly, I do fault Billy Donovan a little bit for that. Um,
Hmm.
Of course, there's other teams wrong with the team, like their defense isn't the best. They could really, you know, they could really use people that can actually, do things besides just DeRozan and Zach LaVine, because there's a lot of nights. And Vucevic has been disappointing for most part for the rest for a lot of the year. He's been taking
Yeah.
some interesting shots to interesting games. It's a very interesting. I really just I have to see what happens in the playoffs. Honestly, I have to see what happens in the offseason because I think it is their first time together. Maybe I'm giving them a little bit too much slack. I have to see what happens in the playoffs and what happens in the offseason. And
Hmm. Yeah, obviously, I mean the playoffs are coming up here, and look, this is where teams are made. When I view the playoffs as, I kind of take the seeding out of it, and I just look at who's gonna show up the most, because it's a great quote out there, and talent doesn't always win. The best team doesn't, skill wise, doesn't always win. The Bulls, they have a pretty talented team. When you look at DeRozan, you look at Levine, Vucevic can be a good center.
Campbell,
I had him coming into the season as like a top 6, top 7 center in the league. He was putting up 20 and 10 last season like it was nothing, and over the past few years. And he's struggling defensively. Obviously, he wasn't the greatest defender already, but he just looks even worse. And he can't rebound the ball like he was in Orlando. And when you look at Levine, it seems like he's been playing through injuries and all that stuff. He hasn't looked exactly the same as he was. DeRozan, he couldn't carry. I just had that feeling it was a matter of time until where DeRozan couldn't fully carry this team. With Levine being a little bit on and off at certain points, with Vucevic being inconsistent, Lonzo being out, DeRozan couldn't fully carry the Bulls in every single game. And I just think it sucks. And Karam brings up that Billy Donovan is a weird coach. Some of the blame I can't even put on these players, because these rotations are very it kind of gets me thinking sometimes, like,
yeah,
how do you run this rotation and then run this rotation and then run this guy? And it's kind of weird, but it just, and then the adjustments of Billy Donovan haven't been the greatest either. He hasn't made great adjustments. Like, a lot of the Bulls' problems this last stretch is that they play a lot of ISO ball with DeRozan and Levine, kind of like what people talked about with the Celtics the first half of the year with Brown and Tatum. So the Bulls are kind of reverting to that ISO ball, and it's like, hey, Billy Donovan, why are you playing ISO ball? Why? I mean, obviously, DeRozan's gonna get his shots. Levine's gonna get his shots. That's dominant scorers get their shots. But why are you not having ball movement? Why are you not creating better looks for your guys like Levine and DeRozan? And Billy Donovan takes a lot of the fault for what the Bulls have been struggling with as of lately. But look, the playoffs, all this can change. I mean, look, we had I believe, the 5th seeded Hawks make it to the conference finals last year. So the playoffs could change a big. It's a big narrative shift happens there. But right now, the way they're playing, I don't like. I don't like what I see for the Bulls going into the playoffs. I ain't gonna lie, man.
does anybody in chat know what Lonzo Ball's time return is like?
Yeah, what
Because
is that?
I know that he's being reevaluated. Isn't it supposed to be today? Because today is Thursday, or is that next Thursday?
I'm a, I'm a,
Um,
I'm a, I'm trying to find this right now. Yeah, I don't see anything right this second about Lonzo. Nothing. And all Bulls fans are saying I should see. I hope Lonzo can return for the playoffs. I hope this is just a lot of hopes from the fan base. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, but nothing on Lonzo Ball right now. Nothing on him, and I can't believe that. And the Bulls, they got to get it together because it's getting scary out here. It's getting scary in the East. Like I've said all season long, since basically the beginning of the season, the East is getting better. It's not getting worse. The East is getting better. You're getting stronger. Guys are getting more chemistry. Guys are getting in rhythm, and it's only gonna get worse and worse for the Bulls if they don't step up now. But Corrupts, anything else you want to say about this?
Grum says that probably a first round exit for the Bulls. And I agree. I
I
think that
agree.
it will be a first round exit for the Bulls. The East, 5 seeds and up are really freaking good, and I just don't see the Bulls beating one of those teams. I just don't.
Corrupt. You know what's so funny about this comment right here and this comment right here is that
Yeah.
right before the stream, I literally had this as a topic. So Iverson asked the question: should the Warriors be worried? And that's an
Wow,
interesting
that is
question.
weird.
So should they be worried? The injury of
Um,
Steph right now, he should be back for the playoffs. But what are your thoughts on that?
you know that I thought the Warriors were going to go to the Western Conference Finals, but I thought they're going to lose to the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and personally, wait, actually, did I have the Grizzlies or the Warriors going to the Western Conference? No,
I think you had the Warriors.
I had the Warriors. What's up,
Mm-hmm.
Dante?
What's good,
And
bro?
I think Steph, they should be worried, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's all on Steph, right? They need Steph back. I think Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, and of course, everybody else by themselves, they can't do it, right? They need Steph there because, of course, Steph is the superstar of the team. But even then, honestly, right? Steph Curry hasn't been Steph Curry this season, right? He's
Mm-hmm.
obviously not as good as he was in the past. And you know what? I think I think that this version's of Steph Curry and then Klay Thompson, right? I still think that's a formidable foe in the West, and I still think that team could make the finals. But honestly, bro, the way that they're projected to go, like the Warriors might fall to the fourth seed, or they already are. I don't know
They
if
already
Karam.
are.
They
Yep.
already are the fourth seed. I think that
Mm-hmm.
they should be very worried. Curry's not playing the best as he was when he was healthy, and there's injury problems. Draymond Green's been injured parts of this year. Steph Curry now has been. Klay Thompson just got out of a big injury, 2 year injury. He should be fine though. I'm not really too worried on Klay Thompson, but I just don't trust the Warriors personally. I think the Warriors should definitely be worried come playoff time.
Yeah, I think you have to be. And it's crazy. Steph obviously was not having his best year, but I actually told this to a Warriors fan I know in the Discord, Victor, that Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, right? That tandem, that trio, right? They've played a total of 1.5 game together. 1.5 game. In the one full game that Steph, Klay, and Draymond played together, Steph Curry had 47 points, shot 16 for 25 from the field. So even still, when those three play together, that they can still be great. That they can still be great, but the injuries are concerning. Let's look at the timetable of the Warriors this season. Curry starts off the season on fire. I think he averages like 27 points a game in like the first month and a half, 2 months of the season, right? The Warriors start off as the one seed. I think up until Christmas, I believe they had the one seed, then the Suns took it over, blah, 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 blah. Cool. They start off hot. They're working on Clay's return. Up, Draymond Green gets hurt. All right. A couple weeks later, Clay comes back. All right. Clay and Steph, they're finding their rhythm. Oh, look at that. Clay is back. Steph, Clay, and Dre are back. Up, Steph Curry gets hurt. It's crazy. So it's definitely worrying because every time one guy comes back, another guy gets injured. So I think it's 100% you should worry. And that's crazy that Curry is averaging 25 points per game. And this is probably one of the worst seasons I've seen from Steph Curry. And he's still putting up these numbers. But it's crazy. In the one full game, Steph, Clay, and Draymond played together. Steph had 47 points, and they obviously won the game. And it's crazy. So when they're healthy, they look great and they look good team. And they started off the season very well, but they've been inconsistent with the injuries and a little bit inconsistent with their play over the last month and a half.
Yeah. I don't really know. The Warriors just gotta hope that they don't get injured. Honestly, hopefully Steph Curry comes back and hopefully everything's healthy because I want to see a good, healthy Warriors team go against the Grizzlies or the Suns or whoever makes it. Whoever they face, I want to see that matchup.
Mhm.
I really do want to see that matchup. And right now
Yeah,
they'd
I
be
agree.
facing the Mavericks or
Whoever
the
the fifth seed
Jazz.
is, I think the Jazz actually.
The Mavericks moved up to 3.
Yep, and
The
it'll be
Mavericks
Warriors
are
and
3rd.
Nuggets. Yes, it'll be Warriors and Nuggets right now.
Interesting. Luka, MVP.
It's a little too late this season. It's a little too late
Ah,
this season.
my,
I mean, that's crazy because Luca was like going into like the last 2 seasons. Luca was like odds to like be top 5 MVP votes, and he
yeah.
just hasn't gotten it. Not that he's been bad; he's been great, but it's just been like obviously like Jokic, and, like other guys too. But yeah, it's a little too late for the Luca MVP thing. But the Warriors, I got to get you guys healthy, get you guys to the court as fast as possible, man, because it's getting scary.
But as I said, Timberwolves can probably pass up the Warriors and send them to the play-in. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
The Warriors would have to literally lose every single game for that to happen. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty much.
And even then, even with their depleted team, the Clippers and okay, so they're the 7th seed. Let's say in this
Mhm.
crazy scenario, they're the 7th seed. The Clippers, they're better than the Clippers. They're better than the Spurs, and they're better than the Pelicans, even when they are injured.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, actually, Paul George is back. So.
Paul George. We'll see what happens. But and when you look at the Warriors, they have a 5-game lead over the Timberwolves. It will have to be like an epic, like they have to basically lose their next 5 games, and the Timberwolves have to win their next 5 games. So
Yeah.
that's there. And let's see, the Warriors' next game is tomorrow. No, their next game is on Saturday, and it is against the Jazz. We'll see how that goes. And they actually kept it close to the Suns last night. It's true. That was actually a really good game without Steph. So it's gonna be interesting. Shout out to Jordan Poole too. He had 38 last night. He was on fire.
Pool party.
But next, corrupts. We were just talking about this team, right? And we were talking about the Timberwolves. Someone commented about them a few minutes ago, and they're at the 7th seed. They're
Okay.
probably going to keep that spot in the play-in, which they'll make the playoffs. Can they upset a top 3 seed in the West? Because that's what they're going to be playing. That's the seeds they're going to be playing against.
I think it depends. Okay, so Suns, no. Grizzlies, probably not. Mavericks? I don't know. I kind of like that matchup for the Timberwolves.
If
And
they
I'll
get
say
the
this why.
6th seed, Timberwolves get the 6th seed. That's interesting.
I'll say this why right now. Cats is gonna have a field day against the Mavericks.
100%.
Oh my God, Carthy Towns would have a field day against them. Oh, I think I'm gonna go with it is definitely a chance. Maybe even somehow they just utterly upset and just surprise everybody and beat the Grizzlies. But
Mm-hmm.
I still would take those 3 teams above them. But honestly, I'd love a Timberwolves versus Mavericks series. That would be
Mm-hmm.
amazing. I think there's
Yeah.
a slim chance. Slim chance.
Yeah, I think it is a slim chance as well. Especially when you look at the Mavericks. That is a matchup right there that Cat can really dominate. And I like that matchup. I like that matchup there. The Grizzlies, it have to be like shocker. Because the Grizzlies, with or without John Morant, they win games. That's
Yeah.
something about the Grizzlies. They find a way to win no matter what. So I like that. Steven Adams, John Morant. That'd be interesting, but I think the Mavericks, if the Timberwolves, because the Jazz are crumbling right now, they are only 2.5 games back of the Jazz of the sixth seed. If they slide up into that sixth seed, they get that
Oh
Mavericks
my
matchup.
god,
That's gonna be good.
the Jazz and the play-in.
That'd be wild. First off, that'd be wild. But they just lose games as of late. The Jazz are losing games. If they lose
What
to
has
where
Rudy
tomorrow,
Gobert been doing, bro? Like genuine question.
Rudy Gobert, I'll go.
Hello, hello. Hello?
I was muted that whole time, bro. I was muted that whole time. But Rudy Gobert,
Oh my
last time I
gosh.
seen him play was against the Clippers on Tuesday. He had 9.16 rebounds. He didn't take that many shots. He only took 7 shot attempts. So I mean, obviously offensively he doesn't do much, and he hasn't been doing anything. But defensively, in that fourth quarter of the Clippers game, Isaiah Hartenstein and was able to just get easy like putbacks in the
Oh yeah.
paint, easy rebounds in the paint. Isaiah Hartenstein was feasting inside in that fourth quarter when because the Clippers run that small ball stuff, and Hartenstein was just crashing the boards inside, and he was getting the better of Gobert in the end of the Clippers game. So that's the last I've seen Gobert. He was just letting Isaiah Hartenstein getting putbacks on him and all that stuff.
You know how much well, not how much I don't hate him. You know how much I criticize Rudy Gobert.
Yep.
So it's very interesting to me. And of course, since I am Donovan Mitchell fan, I like to point out that he is putting up good numbers and kept on losing every night, and he should lead teams. But that's
Yep.
another discussion. That's another discussion. Well, actually, oh no, never mind. But yes, the Timberwolves can upset a top three seed. You said that they have a slim chance too, right?
Yep. I well, slim chance against the Grizzlies, but that Mavericks matchup, I've been interested to
That
see that.
Maverick
But
matchup, that is interesting. Like honestly,
mhm.
that is a very, very interesting matchup to me. Anthony
Now,
Edwards versus Dorian Finney-Smith. Hmm.
Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell versus Jalen Brunson or Luca, whoever.
Luca, he'd be going against Luca.
Mhm. Now, corrupt.
Yes.
Now. I want to get to this one real quick because yesterday I made a poll. And it
This
expired
man made a
today.
poll.
I made a 24-hour poll, and I said non-biasly, who is everyone's MVP? Now, Sixers fans, obviously, I have a certain amount of followers that are Sixers fans on Twitter.
Yeah.
67% of the votes went to Joel Embiid. 20% of the votes went to Nikola Jokic. 13% of the votes went to Giannis. Now, this MVP race, and this is I'm not really gonna have like a debate with this conversation because I think all three of those guys, if they got it, I would not be mad at all. They all have reasons why they should win the MVP.
Yeah.
But man, Giannis is really like people still talking about him in top three, but I think he can get a little bit more consideration. I mean, he's put up what 29 points a game, 11 rebounds or 13 rebounds or something like that a game, playing elite defense, the most clutch defender in basketball this year and last year. I mean, when the game's on the line, Giannis, it just seems like he always blocks a shot when the game is on the line, bro.
Yeah.
It just seems like that happens all the time. And I don't know. I think he needs a little bit more consideration. And like I said, you can make a case for every single candidate, but the reason why I bring this up is because I think this is the closest MVP race we have seen in a while. This might be the closest MVP race ever. So, what is your thoughts on
Man.
this MVP race and the candidates and all that?
So this is very hard. It's very interesting. Personally, I feel the same way as you. Honestly, if I had to pick one, I'd probably go with Jokic just because of the fact that he doesn't have the players around him, and that without Jokic, out of the three teams, without Giannis, without Joel Embiid, and without Jokic, the Nuggets have the worst record out of those three teams, out of the Nuggets, the 76ers, and the Bucks. And I think more to most valuable player, I feel like Jokic has been the most valuable player to his team. Uh, the others, Giannis has Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, and of course he's been The Bucks aren't just blowing away everybody. They're not the first seed. They're still in contention for those spots. And then of course you got the 76ers who has James Harden now. But I kind of agree with you. Honestly, I can't really just like I want to be I want to be mad. I'm going to lean with Jokic, but honestly, if any of these three guys has like a big stretch of games, I could really see just any one of these guys just taking the number one spot for these last stretch of games. I think it. I was just gonna say I think it specifically it depends on what Jokic does. If Jokic somehow falls down to the rankings, to the 6th, 7th seed, that's going to hurt his case a little bit more, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if he, stays where he's at, 5th seed, maybe even gets to the 4th seed, then of course he's probably going to win it.
Yeah. I think if Jokic stays at that like 4 spot or was he there at 5 right now, he'll probably win it. Um, and it's crazy because honestly, obviously, I would like Embiid to win it.
Yeah,
That's obviously, but I've already accepted that he just won't get it, especially because of not only is Jokic doing what he's doing, basically doing great, just as great as he was last year, but the narrative that he has supporting him without Michael Porter Jr., without Jamal Murray, the whole story, he's carried the Nuggets team. Everyone's saying the Nuggets wouldn't even be a playing team or would just be a playing team if he wasn't on the team this year, which I, for most part, agree with.
I agree.
It's just everything is going in Jokic's favor. Where Giannis, he has some solid teammates or better teammates than Jokic does. Obviously, now for the second part of the season, Embiid has had great teammates for this second half. Obviously, with getting James Harden. But like I said, I can see cases for everyone. I mean, when I was talking about it yesterday in the Discord, like if we're just looking at offensive scoring, Embiid's the best scorer, Giannis is the best defender, Jokic is the best passer out of the three. Jokic has the worst team, Giannis has the best team, Embiid has the team with the highest ceiling. Like you just see, or just like you just see things with for you can make cases for each player, and it's just like I don't
Wait,
know
wait.
what.
You kind of went over that real quick. Giannis has the best team.
Currently, right now, Giannis, they're the best team. They have the best record out of every candidate. The Bucks are the second seed in the East.
Hmm.
The Sixers are the
Okay, I
third seed.
mean,
It's
I
only
mean
one
Chris,
game apart, but
Chris,
Giannis has the
Chris,
best team.
Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, okay.
Yeah,
Tyrese
I
Maxey,
mean,
yeah. Oh, James Harden. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Best team. Okay. Talent wise, I'm taking the 76ers. But
I can see that, but I was just going off who has like the best record. But
the best record.
um, Nick says Jokic already won it. ESPN has him as the MVP. And I seen that poll thing come out yesterday, that player poll thing where Jokic got like most of the MVPs, and it's just like it probably will go to him. Karam
Yeah,
says you don't trust the Sixers in the playoffs. Hey, I mean, with Doc Rivers as our coach, anything can happen, bro.
that's
That's
tough.
but yeah, we'll see what happens in the playoffs. Were you talking about Frank Kaminsky's the MVP? Oh no, hold on. It's first off, Frank Kaminsky's not the MVP because when you look at it, corrupt. When you really look at it, when you look at what Jock Landell has been doing this season, bro, I think it's nothing to what
Oh,
it's just miles over Frank Kaminsky. Miles over Frank
I
Kaminsky.
mean, first off, Jock Landell's from Australia. That's
Come on.
awesome, right?
Mhm.
He probably punches kangaroos for a living. Second off, that tells.
And then when you look at Frank Kaminsky's American, bro. Like, and we see now it's to American, bro. Like we're all American, bro. Like he's
The
from
real, the
Wisconsin. He went to
real,
college in Wisconsin, bro.
the real MVP here is Isaac Bonga. Oh my gosh,
Bro, Bonga, bro.
they don't know about Bonga like that. Like
Bro, the 6'8"
I've been
point
telling
guard,
people that
super
Bonga
active.
is the real deal. They don't believe me.
He's if Isaac Bonga, bro, if Isaac Bonga had like a consistent jump shot, he would literally be the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because he can dunk on anybody, bro. He can average 30 points a game without shooting the ball. Isaac Bonga is the best defender in the league, and people need to give him that Defensive Player of the Year. But nah. Wait,
Yes, bro.
yes, Karam. All right, so corrupts. Next question for you. I think this is a conversation that I want to have today because when I look at it,
Okay.
we all have the playoff P jokes, the pandemic P, playoff choker.
In
You
two
know,
years.
the bubble was a very time. It was the bubble was a time everyone was bored in the house. Basketball was most of everything of all we had. So the bubble, everyone was just bored on the couch, and they see Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers just choke a series, and everyone just gets bored. And Twitter, playoff P. But
And he was playoff P. That does become
he,
yeah.
he was, which he deserves some of the criticism he's gotten. But since then, since the bubble, last year's playoffs, Kawhi went down. He carried the Clippers into the Western Conference Finals. Had a good playoff
Yeah.
run. Did great. Outplayed the Jazz team just with himself and Terrence Mann. Him and Terrence
Bro,
Mann
Terrence Mann's a god. And what are you talking about?
and Reggie Jackson outplayed the Jazz, who the Jazz were the 1 seed, and they did that. They were
Oh my
competitive in
god.
most of the games against the Suns. Um, and then this year, he starts off the season really well, gets hurt, but he came right back corrupt.
33, 34, 34
30,
points
34 points when he came back Tuesday night. Corrupt, you would have thought this man was playing all year,
on the Jazz.
and it's crazy, bro. It's
So
crazy. So, are people underrating Paul George? Like, are the playoff P, obviously that stuff's out of it, but are people genuinely sleeping on how just good of a basketball player he actually is?
I feel like people forget how like good Paul George like actually was, especially in like OKC. Everybody knows Pacers Paul George. Everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
But OKC, he was actually really freaking good, putting up really good numbers. Low key better than Russell Westbrook. But but like I mean, I don't think he's talked about enough. I think people know Paul George, right? I
Yeah.
think everybody. We can go all day about like rankings and like who's better. I think generally, he's rated pretty well, like pretty well among the NBA fan community around
Mm-hmm.
here. Um, but I feel like people don't understand like how like Paul George could definitely be a number one option on a team. I feel like man, Paul George is one of maybe the best two-way. Oh, my bad, Kawhi Leonard. I apologize. Is the second best two-way player in all the league. And dude, Paul George has just changed the game fundamentally. I think he's better than he's not easily, but he's better guys than Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker. He's better than those guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's on the same tier in my personal opinion. I was gonna say Jason Tatum, but like the thing about Jason Tatum's going into, and he could potentially be like a superstar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Paul George. I don't think Paul George was ever a superstar. Maybe he had I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of weird to see if Paul George is super. I don't know. That's interesting.
Personally, Paul George, top 15 player in the NBA, just outside the top 10, personally, in my opinion. Hello,
Mm-hmm.
Rhea. I think he is better than guys like Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Jimmy Butler, and guys like that. I know that because me and you had this conversation in the Discord yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Booker and Paul George was an interesting conversation that we all had.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you in the chat think?
Would you say?
What do you in the chat think about Paul George? First off, talk about Paul George a little bit, and do you think Devin Booker is better than him?
Whew. I mean, look, Paul George. I mean, like I said, people, obviously the memes and everything that happened in the playoffs a few years ago carried over. But like when we talk about the best players in the league, when we talk about great players, when we talk about players at his position, I don't hear his name enough. I feel like
Yeah,
when people talk about, man, who's the best small forward, or what are your top 5 small forwards, or who's a guy who can do this and do that, and who's on a list of like the best scorers in the league, because Paul George, he can light up the scoreboard, he can play great defense. He's a solid passer. I mean, he's a great player. And when in some of these conversations and some of these talks, like, I don't think he gets talked about enough. I don't think he gets talked about enough when it comes to all NBA conversations. Obviously, this year he was hurt, so he won't be in any of those conversations. But when it comes to like all NBA, I never hear Paul George's name, or rarely. Or when it comes to all NBA defense, I think you can consider him all NBA defensive first team for certain seasons that he hasn't gotten, because he's been a great defender. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard and stuff, plays similar positions, and he can be there as well. But I don't know. I feel like Paul George does get a little bit underrated. People do kind of carry on with the jokes, and I think he is a great basketball player. Now, next, we were having that conversation. Is he better than Devin Booker? And the thing with me is that the last this season, Devin Booker is great. It's amazing. This is his best, and it's crazy because Devin Booker's been great the last few years, but this is Devin Booker's best season of his career. Like, this is
Yeah.
the only year where he's been like actually thought of, even in the slightest, of being in the top 5 MVP conversation. This is the best season of Booker's career. But is this season gonna take over what Paul George has consistently done overall throughout the last couple of years? I just don't think so. Like, this year, obviously Devin Booker has been better, but I by the way, I like Devin Booker more than Paul George. Devin Booker is obviously one of my favorite players in the league, but I
Yeah.
just think I would still take Paul George. Over the last 2 years, Paul George has done it. A little bit less help because Kawhi hasn't been healthy in a while, and Paul George can do similar things to Booker offensively while putting up way better defensive intensity and defensive effort than Booker does. And that's no knock to Booker. Like I said, that's one of my favorite players in the league, but I'm still gonna go Paul George, personally.
So yeah, okay. So we both agree on that. We both agree that Paul George is better than Devin Booker, right? If
Mm-hmm.
a ranking is hard right now, especially as there's guys like Anthony Davis who's injured. Anthony Davis may be outside the top 10, but if I would have a ranking right now, and this is part of my announcement, right? My new announcement, right? If I would have a ranking right now, the top 15 players in the NBA, right? I'm not gonna go through 12 through 1. I'm not gonna go through that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll go 13, right? Just maybe, at the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
13, Paul George, 14, Devin Booker, 15, Donovan Mitchell.
So corrupt, ladies and gentlemen.
It has finally happened. I now believe that Donovan Mitchell is a worse player than Devin Booker as of right now, overall.
We did it. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. We have done it. Corrupt has finally.
We have done it. Nah, that was Devin
as a
Booker, bro.
collective.
That was
Everyone
all
in the
Devin
chat,
Booker.
people in the chat have told you this, Carl. People that have agreed with me over the last year almost.
Yeah.
We have done it as a collective. We have gotten him to do it. Iverson's like, that's what I'm talking about. It's just funny.
It's just that like they've been so close for like so many years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like this season, you have to put yourself, you have to like,
Mm-hmm.
you have to separate yourself. Devin Booker,
Yeah.
Devin Booker has been doing that, and like I understand that Devin Booker's team is better constructed. And I believe that he does have the best coach right now in all the NBA, and for years to come, Devin Booker does. But the Jazz still have a good coach. They still have a good team around him. And Devin Booker is Donovan Mitchell shows to be at times taking inefficient and pretty, wild and tough shots that he shouldn't take when Devin Booker takes more smart shots, better in the post. 3-point shooting, I'm still giving that to Donovan Mitchell. Defensively, though, I've long stopped lying to myself of how good Donovan Mitchell is on defense. Honestly, if we're going to be completely truthful, Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell are basically the same defensively, in my opinion. This season, I'd probably take Donovan Mitchell, but overall, as a player, somebody who I want on my team, I'm probably going to take Devin Booker over Donovan Mitchell.
Rhea has a question. Who's better at basketball, B-Hub or Corrupts?
Me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say corrupt in that. So corrupt. Speaking of the Suns, as we were going through this today, I just thought of a topic, and I've been hearing. Okay, now I want to make this clear. I don't watch every single Suns game. I I don't, but I watch enough. Okay, yeah, I don't watch as much as Iverson does. Obviously, I don't watch them as much as I watch the Sixers, but I watch enough. And corrupt, we have been hearing us too that Mikal Bridges is deserving of the Defensive Player of the Year. What do you think about that? Because that is interesting. No one's not. It's not a lot of people that are talking about it, but it's people who are talking about it that I see all over social media. The people who do talk about this, they are very passionate. Like they are like, you have to watch him play defense, and good defender. I obviously he went to Villanova. Was a good defender coming out of college. But what's your thoughts on this? Is he deserving of this Defensive Player of the Year this season?
Um, Defensive Player of the Year is open to anybody right now. Honestly, truthfully, I for a second thought it was gonna go to. I thought it was going to go like after Draymond Green come back. I thought Draymond Green was going to continue that rope when what's it called? Rudy Gobert got injured
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, and then Rudy Gobert has just not been playing the same, right? Um, as of right now, Marcus Smart is actually in leading for the
Okay.
Defensive Player of the Year odds, which is very interesting to me. Honestly, I thought it'd be Robert Williams a little bit over
Right. For
Marcus
that
Smart
team, especially, yeah.
for the Celtics, but apparently, and actually, I've watched Marcus Smart. He has been pretty good defensively lately,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and in fact, just in general, he's good defensively.
Hmm.
Um, McCall Bridges, I just have not. I just don't. Truthfully, he's really good, and McCall Bridges definitely should be in competition for this award. But personally, bro, I think I'm gonna take other guys over him. I think I'm gonna take Jaren Jackson Jr. over McCall Bridges, and I'm gonna
Okay.
take Marcus Smart over McCall Bridges for this season for the Defensive Player of the Year so far.
Very, very interesting. See, that's crazy. That
Defensive Player of the Year has not been talked about this one.
it has
Honestly, bro, it
not,
could go to Giannis. But actually, for everything I just said, Giannis is winning Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis is winning Defensive Player of the Year. It's going to happen.
and that could happen. But McCall Bridges, I think he's a great defender. I think he's a this season he's a, a I don't know how to say this. Like I guess you could say this year just for his position, he's like been on that I guess like that borderline tier one defensive type of player. Because he's been great. He defends the best guard on the opposing team. Obviously, that's not a easy task. If you going out, you're playing guys like Donovan Mitchell. You're going out playing
Yeah.
guys like Steph Curry. You're going out and playing guys, like all the great guards in the league, like John Morant. You're going out and guarding guys like Anthony Edwards. So Mikal Bridges does that, and I think that there should be value in that. But the deserving of the Defensive Player of the Year, I don't know because I think as of right now, I would have Jaren Jackson and Giannis over him.
Yeah,
Jaren Jackson is underrated this season, and honestly, I thought he was gonna be like how he's playing on defense. I thought that's the potential he had offensively. I thought he was gonna develop into that, but defensively, he's been just as great as he is on the offensive side of the ball. I believe he leads the league in blocks per games and total blocks in the season. So I have Jaren Jackson and Giannis over him, but I just thought this was an interesting topic because a lot of the Suns fans and everyone who supports him, they just like, man, you gotta watch him. You gotta go look at Mikal Bridges, man. He definitely gotta be it. And I was just like, man, I didn't see it at first, but I can see a little of what they're talking about and stuff. And it's interesting, but corrupts. So we know you just obviously, you're a new Jazz fan now. You're Jazz fan. He gave up on the Spurs, guys. He gave up on the Spurs. He said a play-in is not enough for me. The Spurs had to make the playoffs and had to be a top five team in the NBA in order for me to stick with this team this year. And I just
no.
Corrupt said that he definitely is just done. He is over with. So Corrupt. So how do you feel about your decision to leave the Spurs fandom?
I don't feel anything because I'd never left the Spurs fandom, and the Spurs fandom will always be within me. And I will always be a part of the Spurs fandom. Pause, actually. Whoa,
All right.
pause.
So corrupt. I'm gonna just ask you some quick questions here. We're just gonna. I'm gonna put up two players, and you are gonna tell me who is better. Okay. So first off, obviously we have the two best players of all time. We have Luke Mbambute and we have Timofey Mozgov.
Say that again.
We have so we have Timofey Mozgov or Luke Mbambute.
Mozgov.
Uh, he's gonna go with Corrupt's going with Timofey Mozgov. But nah, so I'm gonna name some players. I'm gonna name some players. Kind of like how we did last time, like how we were talking about Will and Bill Russell and things of that nature. So, Corrupt, we had a conversation yesterday, okay?
We did. Did
We
we?
had a conversation yesterday. Actually, before we even get into comparing random players that I'm gonna generate, I want to get into this conversation we had yesterday. We had a discussion with some people that me and Corrupts, agreed that Giannis would be ranked on our power forwards list all
Oh my
time over
gosh.
Karl Malone.
Yes.
Now, I wanted to get this is more of a question for the chat because I we already know how we feel about this, but I think at this point in Giannis's career, what he has already achieved, we're not even talking about the years he has left. What all Giannis has achieved, he is ranked over Karl Malone. Here's why I think he's ranked over Karl Malone. When you look at it, the MVPs, they both have won MVPs. When you look at defensively, it's not even close. Giannis has a defensive player of the year to show for that. He has great defensive ratings throughout his career. When he's off the floor, the Bucks get so worse defensively, so much worse defensively than when he's on the floor. Giannis, when it comes to scoring, Giannis, even though Karl Malone is the more skilled scorer when it comes to like better moves and flashy post moves, but Giannis, he puts up more points and he's better inside. And when you look at career achievements, Giannis is a champion. Giannis is more clutch in the playoffs. Karl Malone had John Stockton on his team and choked in multiple playoff series. And I know, oh, he faced Michael Jordan. He faced Michael Jordan. That's cool. But it's still other times where the Jazz under Karl Malone were getting first round exited before he can even get to Michael Jordan in the finals. So I don't know. Giannis is over Karl Malone in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think Giannis is just so good. First of all, I know that in the stats or whatever, Giannis averages less points career wise when it comes against Carmelo. He averages 25 points per game. First off, when he has Stockton, he's getting set up by Stockton. That helps gets his points up. But second off, bro, are we really going to compare the first two seasons with Giannis when Giannis had 6 points his first season, only playing like 30 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take that out of the equation, his points per game already goes up. And let's talk about just overall peak wise. Giannis offensively in his peak, who's still getting better, by the way. He is still getting better as shooting wise. His 3-point shot has slowly become better. His mid range is starting to become pretty much, like very good. And when he gets all those just together, he's going to be in contention for the greatest power forward of all time and possibly a top 10 player of all time. He already won a championship over a guy like Carbone Bum Malone, Car Bum Malone. Oh, that's a little bit. Sorry about that. And Giannis is definitely better defensively, definitely a better rim protector than him. And Giannis is just overall is a better player than Carl Malone. He just is. And Giannis is already a top 5 power forward of all time. So
So you got Tim Duncan, you got
yes,
Dirk, Charles Barkley,
Kevin
Kevin
Garnett.
Garnett, and then Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't gonna lie, bro. I really can't think of anyone else. And then you got guys like Karl Malone after, and then yeah,
Kevin McHale.
Kevin McHale. Yeah,
I'm
um,
forgetting somebody.
I am forgetting somebody, but yeah,
What, Gasol?
Is he a center or what
Power
would you
forward.
consider?
Pau Gasol's power forward in my opinion.
Okay, so yeah, because
Stretch
Marcus
forward.
Gasol is center. Let me see. I'm looking at it.
Who's better,
10.
Giannis or Embiid overall? Giannis. Whoever you guys choose, I want you to think who's better, Jokic or the person you chose, aka Giannis or Embiid.
Giannis is better than Jokic.
Giannis is way better than Jokic. Not even close. Giannis is
Not
a
even
top.
close. People would disagree. I
No,
mean, I.
it is not close. What the fuck? This is look. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, right? If Jokic was on that Bucks team, not having the same success as Giannis on the Bucks team.
Whew, okay. Even with his offensive facilitating, you don't. Well, because the
Yes.
defense gets worse. The defense gets dramatically worse, and that defense runs as Giannis goes.
Giannis makes that defense like a top defense in
Yes.
all NBA history.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis is that good defensively. He is that good defensively. You know how many games they lose just for the simple fact that they don't have Giannis to block that game-winning shot?
Right? Like he did against the Sixers the other day. Giannis
This
is
man
the
got so
only guy,
salty.
and Giannis is the only guy in the league who blocks Joel Embiid's putback. Like it just annoys me thinking about it. But
And I know that you could be like, oh, Jokic, since Jokic can shoot, he's a better scorer than Giannis. Just because of the simple fact of how good he is when it comes to the paint and how good he is getting when it comes to the mid-range and shooting wise, I'm taking Giannis just overall in general. Honestly, I don't care. He produces more points than he produces more points than Jokic does, and he's more dominant. Yeah, and of course, way better defender than Jokic. And
way
yes,
better.
facilitating will go down,
But the
but yeah,
defense goes. It's like all right with Jokic, right? And with Giannis and Jokic, it's like all right. If you switch out Jokic, right, the facilitating goes down with Giannis, but everything else offensively goes up. The offensive rebounding goes up. The only thing that, well, obviously the 3-point shooting as well, but the offensive rebounding goes up. The scoring goes up because Giannis produces more points. The dominance goes up. And when you take Jokic, it's not like with Jokic, right? Defensively, it's like one phase of the defense. No, Jokic, the whole entire defense gets worse. Where Giannis, only one part of the offense gets worse, which is the facilitating.
Rhea, DeMar DeRozan is a better mid-range shooter than Booker.
Devin Booker, I think DeMar might be the best mid-range shooter in the league right now. But I think Booker's top 3 mid-range scorers in the league. Oh, top 5 definitely. Top 5 definitely. I had to think about that, but Booker's definitely up there when it comes to mid-range.
Because you got DeRozan, Kawhi Leonard,
Jimmy Butler,
Jason Tatum, DeJounte Murray, who's an underrated guy, Devin Booker, of course.
Chris
I'm not
Paul,
like
his
not
teammate.
not in any order, by the way.
Not in any order, yeah, but
Chris Paul, yeah,
and Joel Embiid because he's the GOAT. What? Joel Embiid is a good mid-range scorer.
I hope Crossfire finds you. What are you talking about? What do you mean by that?
Whoa, what do you mean by that?
Crossfire. Why? What did she say? She said she was gonna beat me up or something.
What Crossfire? I mean, Carl, what you be doing to that person, bro?
Me? She's the one that hates me. I try to be friends with her, and she keeps on going like, "Oh, you're a Scorpio. You suck, corrupt." What?
Yeah. And she said she called you an easy target last week, bro.
Yeah, I know. Like, what the heck?
All right, corrupt. So we're gonna get into some player comparisons, and we're gonna go to TikTok for this. I'm gonna
TikTok,
bro. TikTok is the best. I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm gonna put y'all on game, bro. When y'all want to look at player comparisons,
what?
TikTok be the better play, the best place for it because they be with all the categories and stuff.
Rhea, I do not hate her. I find Crossfire is a dear friend of mine. Well, I think of her that way. She is. We are like brother and sister. Crossfire though hates me, right? She's like the older sister that hates her brother, but I'm like the brother that loves my. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
That's actually low key the relationship. Like
that is facts, yo. Corrupt don't be doing nothing to Crossfire, bro.
That's low key the relationship.
Corrupt.
That is low key the relationship, actually, bro. That's actually kind of funny. I'm gonna say that to her next time. But yeah, sure. TikTok, fine, all right. Let's go.
So let's see. I'm about to find a good comparison. So corrupts. This comparison is an all-time comparison for Shaq and Giannis. All right.
Oh
For some
god.
reason, this is it. So how this works is that they go through literally, as you can see on my phone, 3-point shooting. So you go through every category. So I'm gonna ask
Yeah,
you,
there you go.
obviously, who's better every category, and we're gonna say, and then actually at the end you'll say who's better overall. So
Okay.
Shaq versus Giannis, 3-point shooting.
Giannis.
Giannis.
Yeah.
Mid-range shooting,
Giannis.
Giannis. Inside scoring, Shaq.
Shaq. Shaq. Yeah.
Scoring overall, I'm gonna go with Shaq.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah. Yeah. I'll go Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq's peak put up like what 30 points. Yeah. Rebounding. Oh, this
Shaq.
is close. I'm gonna go with Shaq. Perimeter defense, Giannis.
Giannis. Perimeter defense. Giannis.
Interior defense,
Shaq.
Shaq. I'm gonna go with Shaq as well. Strength.
Shaq.
That's Shaq.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
Giannis is strong, but I'm gonna go with
Bro,
Shaq.
he broke the backboard. Shaq.
Speed is Giannis.
Giannis.
Playmaking, Giannis.
Giannis.
Post scoring is Shaq. Easy. The best.
Yep.
Second best post scorer behind Kareem. Accolades is Shaq. And then all time, it's still Shaq. Giannis, if he wins a couple more because Shaq has 4 titles. If Giannis can win maybe a couple, if Giannis gets up to 3 or 4 titles, that debate gets more interesting when it comes to career accolades.
Yo, I'll tell you this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything that I said yes for Shaq, Giannis is not that far behind. Besides probably strength. Besides strength.
Yeah,
he's pretty close to almost everything that we
post scoring.
Even
Shaq, he's really close to post scoring, stuff like that. Interior defense is Shaq, but Giannis is great at that.
And honestly, it's just legit. If we just saw Giannis doing this longer for longer periods of time and in multiple championships, Giannis is one of those players that can definitely be in the top 10 and surpass a lot of guys.
Yep, I agree. Next,
I think out of everybody in the NBA right now, Giannis has the best chance to be in the top 10 of the NBA. Of course, for people who are not already in the top 10.
Right, like LeBron James.
Yes,
and
that's the only person.
Yeah, he's the only person. And Kevin Durant, I guess, has a chance to if he wins a couple more championships. And obviously, KD has a talent. But next, you're gonna go all time Jimmy Butler and Paul George. All right, so let's see. Jimmy Butler versus Paul George. 3-point shooting, Paul George.
Paul George easily, yeah.
Mid-range, Jimmy.
Jimmy Butler.
Paul George.
Finishing, Paul George.
Scoring, Paul George.
Paul George. Oh my god.
Defense. Oh, that's a good
Jimmy
one.
Butler. Jimmy Butler.
That is Jimmy.
I'm gonna go Jimmy Butler.
Not bad. That is Jimmy though. Playmaking. Oh, I'm gonna go
Jimmy Butler.
I don't know. That could honestly be like a tie. Let me look at. I'm gonna go to stats for this one, just because I just don't know. Let me look at Butler stats. Butler average.
Yeah, Gio. As of right now, Curry ranks higher than Giannis all time. But what's up, Mitch? But of course, I'm saying Giannis has the best potential to be that a higher, right?
Yo, what's up, Mitch? What's up? But I guess let's see. I mean, Jimmy. I don't know. Jimmy averages 5 assists in his career. I don't know. I assists. We're just gonna play. Maybe we'll just give it a tie. I guess. Better overall, all time. I'm going with Paul George over Jimmy Butler all time. That's just me.
But Jimmy Butler, though. What do you guys think in the chat?
Jimmy Butler or Paul George all time?
Jimmy Butler or Paul George, chat? All time? Jimmy Butler with the Bulls he was such a better scorer. I'm thinking, right now I'm in the mode of Heat Paul George. I mean, not Paul George. Yikes. Heat Jimmy Butler. But like Bulls, Jimmy Butler. I'm gonna go with Paul George,
Mm-hmm.
barely, and I'd have to do more research.
Iris says Butler got outscored by Bryn Forbes last year in the playoffs. That is true, but tough.
But here's the
Paul
thing,
George
though. I think
might be better than Jimmy coming from a Bulls fan. Yeah.
I don't have to give. Personally, I'm gonna have to give that more research.
Yeah, that's interesting, actually. All right, next we're going all-time James Harden versus all-time D Wade.
Dwayne Wade. Oh, sorry.
It's gonna be Dwayne Wade. Let's see. All right, 3-point shooting, obviously,
James
it's James
Harden.
Harden. Mid-range shooting,
Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade. Finishing, Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade.
Scoring, James Harden.
Ooh. Yeah,
Defense,
James Harden.
Dwayne Wade, easy.
What was
Playmaking, defense, Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade? Yeah.
Playmaking, James Harden. Accolades, Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade.
All-time Dwayne
Dwayne
Wade.
Wade.
That was
Like,
kind
when I
of
tell you guys, and for all you James Harden fans out there who just think that is actually James Harden over Dwayne Wade, you're wrong. Dwayne Wade is easily better than James Harden.
yes. All right, so here we have Embiid and Jokic
Oh my
scoring. Well, I just found it. I'm just scrolling, bro. I just found it, bro. The other one was Katie and Steph, which will be interesting. We can get into that next. So scoring, Embiid. Playmaking, Jokic. Rebounding,
Yeah.
Jokic.
Okay.
Accolades, Jokic. He has an MVP.
Yeah.
Better team right now, Embiid. I don't know why that was on here. Shooting, Embiid.
Jokic.
Ooh.
Huh. Say it again.
You heard what I said. I don't have to repeat myself.
You said Embiid's the better shooter. I'm gonna have to call Cap.
You can call it. His phone number is right up here.
I'm gonna have to call. Yeah, so stupid, MG. That was a dad joke, bro. That was such a dad joke, bro. Nah, chat. Put the tomato down in the chat. Oh God, spam the tomato.
Oh
Because
my
that was a
bro.
horrible joke, bro. I said that I'm gonna call Cap on that, and you were like, "Oh, the Cap's right here. The Cap's right here, man. The Cap is right here on my head." That was the worst joke ever, bro. Are you serious? Thank you, QC. This man really said, "Oh, it's right here. It's right here.
Hey,
You don't know what to call it. It's right here." Oh my
You know
God,
what?
bro.
Anyways, I'm
First
gonna
off, that is Cap. Jokic is the better shooter than Embiid is.
You know what? I can't even defend that. Jokic has a better shooting percentage. So, anyways, we're gonna
This
give
man
it.
switched it up real quick.
I didn't. I'm still on the screen, but obviously, I just know that just by recent research. All right,
Thank you.
finishing Embiid, obviously.
Yeah, Embiid.
Winner overall, who's
Jokic.
better? Nope, wrong. Oh, they even have defense in this one. Obviously, defense is Embiid, though. We don't even have to. All right, so Embiid wins. We all agree.
So
now,
no, wait. Legit though. Jokic or Embiid?
I mean, look, I'm obviously maybe because I'm biased. When you look at Embiid and Jokic, the difference is Embiid's defense and Jokic's playmaking. Scoring is there for both. Rebounding's there for both. Stats are there for both. The difference is, what do you value more? Jokic's playmaking, which is miles better than Embiid, or Embiid's defense that's miles better than Jokic. That's literally, it depends on what you value more. Now, maybe because Jokic isn't on my team and I don't have a playmaker like that impacts my team, I value Embiid's defense more. Or maybe that might be being biased. I don't know. You call it for what you will. But I value Embiid's defense. Now, I agree, Jokic is going to be the MVP this year, you see, but just overall, that's really what the debate comes down to. People value, and the reason why that's all it comes down to, because it used to be an easy win, or for some people, easy win for Jokic because of Embiid's health. But Embiid hasn't had a long term injury in about 3 or 4 years, so he hasn't really been injury prone. And
Embiid ain't even top 5. Whoa, whoa.
who
And
said
like
that?
MVP, QC.
Yeah, he's trolling, and if he's not trolling, I can tell you why he is top 5 in the MVP voting.
QC. I want a QC versus MG rap battle on God.
All right.
No,
So,
he
ooh,
is joking.
got Hakeem Olajuwon versus Shaq. That's
Oh,
interesting.
We're not gonna do Steph versus KD.
Oh yeah, Stephen. I almost forgot about Stephen KD.
This man, bro.
Man, bro, shut up, bro. All right, here we go. All right, Steph versus KD. I'm trying to send MG on a rant. Hey, depending on what happens this playoffs, Doc Rivers or in the team might get another rant at the end of the playoffs. So, hey, hey, but 3-point shooting, Steph and KD. As obvious as Steph Curry. Finishing is obviously KD.
Ooh, 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 ooh,
Whoa,
ooh.
you got something to say about that, my
Steph got a
friend?
layup package though, no cap.
He do, but KD, he can dunk.
He got the but he got a layup package. KD.
KD for
I won't I
finishing.
won't front. I won't front, but I think it's closer than people think. I really do think it's closer than people think.
All right, so we got 3-point shooting, Steph already. All right, so mid-range shooting, obviously it's KD.
KD.
All right, we got ball handling skills, Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
Okay, we have defense,
KD.
KD. Who is better all time?
MG.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
I'll take Steph Curry
I
all
agree.
time.
I literally
And,
think that they're
and
like
accolades, I forgot accolades. I think I'd get Steph Curry.
Steph Curry accolades. I
Yeah.
think it's weird, right? Because if I was making a ranking, right, on the top of my head, I think it'd be like just throwing numbers out there. They're like right next to each other. They're like 14 to 15 all time or something like that. They're like right next to each other. But I'm gonna have Steph over KD all time, just for the simple fact of how first off of how he won his first ring and what he's been able to do on impact wise for the game. Um, and personally, I think KD can low key be a little bit overrated when it comes to all time talk. When it comes to all time talk, I think KD's a little bit tad bit overrated.
And respectfully, I love KD, but Steph has won without KD. KD has not won without Steph.
That's tough.
It's just true, and it's no slouch to either guy, but someone has won without the other. But QC does make a good point. Finishing is more difficult under the rim, and Steph does that, and is what makes that close. That
That's
Steph's
why.
layup package.
That's
I
why I
mean,
like.
it's crazy because it's like, who would you take? Because we about to bring up another layup package just for finishing, not as a overall thing. Kyrie Irving's finishing, or a guy like KD. Obviously, you're gonna take Kyrie, even though KD can dunk and Kyrie can't really dunk, but that layup package is,
Anyways,
Hey, Carruts.
yeah.
So I just want to, before we continue with the basketball talk, did you ask this guy to be here?
J.R. Farmer. Who are you, bro? Who are you?
You didn't have to
Make
be here, bro.
your own make your own channel. Invite your own friends. Talk about basketball or whatever you like to talk about yourself, and see and do it live.
Hey, we just two basketball fans having fun. You didn't have to be here, but we
Bro,
appreciate
there's
you.
like 5 viewers
I
in the
also
chat, dog.
appreciate this guy though for giving me some watch time, because the next part of getting to my monetization, I do need some watch time. So shout out to that guy, honestly. Shout out to you, bro. Give me a couple watch hours.
Shout out to J.R. Farmer helping us, helping
Helping us
MG
out.
get more
Yeah.
popular and get a
Hey,
celebrity awareness.
and the more you interact with my channel, the more it pushes out the content to other viewers. So I just thank you for bringing more people here, and we appreciate you, buddy. We appreciate you. So Mick says KD had Westbrook. That's why he ain't win anything. That's tough. But correct. What's your thoughts? Is finishing is are you would you give it to Steph or are we gonna just go with KD?
I'm gonna go with KD. But if it was Kyrie Irving, I'd go finishing with Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving over KD.
That
Yeah,
like just being able to dunk does not mean that you are a better finisher
better
than Steve
finisher.
Kerr.
Yeah. All right. So now we have Luca. We have Tatum. Yeah, corrupts. So
Whoa,
3 point
whoa, whoa! That
shooter.
is so hard. That's like genuinely hard. Like
All right,
actually thinking about it.
who's the
Okay.
better 3 point shooter? I'm gonna say they both see. Here's the thing: Tatum takes tough threes, which he misses more.
I'm gonna go Luca. I'm gonna go
I'm
Luca.
gonna go Luca. Mid range is Tatum.
Tatum.
Finishing, I'm gonna give it to
Tatum.
Tatum. Yeah. Scoring, I'm gonna give to Tatum. Oh, that's scoring. Oh,
Tatum.
I'm gonna go with Tatum as well, but that's close. Playmaking, I'm gonna give it to Luca.
Luca. Luca.
Perimeter defense, anything defense is Tatum. Anything ball handling, Luca.
Luca.
All right, efficiency. I think I'm
Tatum.
gonna just look up numbers. Real, I think it's Luca, the better, more efficient player. I'm gonna just quickly look up numbers here, just to make sure. Luca, his let's just see his field goal percentage this year 45.7. Tatum shoots at field goal percentage 45.1. It's literally like it's point 0.3 percentage points away, bro.
I'm gonna
They
go with
literally
Luca
both
then. I'm
they
gonna go
literally
with
they
Luca.
literally both shoot 45%. I'm gonna go with Luca then for efficiency. Athleticism, Jason Tatum.
Tatum.
Better overall. This is hard. Tatum or Luca overall. I already know who Mick is going with. It is Gio.
Tatum has been so fire.
Luca has been too, especially. Oh, QC says Luca
Oh yeah, I'm
easy.
gonna go. I'm gonna go with Luca.
I'm gonna
Here's why.
go with Luca. Yeah.
Here's why. Mavericks are the third seed, and and they do not have much talent. Not even they don't even have
You
close
don't
to
have
the
a
talent
second option like Jalen Brown.
that the Celtics. Yeah, no, yeah,
You
no.
don't have a
I'm
good
not gonna say
defender.
it's easy. I'm not gonna say it's easy, mostly because of the defense.
Yeah.
But it is Luca. It is Luca though, and I need to take a piss. I'll be right
So
back.
Corrupt will be back, and we'll finish this when he gets back. Hey, once again, just a quick shout out to my guy Jr. Farmer. Just a great supporter of the channel, like I said, and we appreciate guys like Jr. Farmer because they just give us free watch time, free watch hours. Don't even engage in the conversation we're talking about; just talks bullcrap. But he gives us, great, just great job by Mr. Jr. Farmer, giving us, giving me free watch time. Just watching, not even paying attention to what we're saying. I was paying attention to how our arms were moving, actually. So yeah. I'm not saying I'm not saying it's not close. I just think everything Luca does looks super easy. Okay. Okay. I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. QC. Mr. QC. So when Corrupt gets back, we'll get into our next conversation. Let's go. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Corrupts, are you ready for this?
What's up?
This is gonna be Giannis versus KD.
Oh shit.
I don't think Corrupt's ready for this one, y'all. So we have Giannis versus KD. Shooting,
KD.
Kevin Durant. Passing,
KD.
I agree, Kevin Durant. Finishing, Giannis.
Giannis.
Clutch,
Oh, whoa, wait. People think clutch,
what?
they automatically go to like, oh, buzzer beaters. Oh, who can score in the last minute. But the clutchness that Giannis has had defensively over the last 2 years has been championship worthy. Giannis.
I'm gonna go with Giannis too. He can be clutch on both sides of the floor. That's KD can be clutch too. Handles KD.
KD.
Strength obviously goes to Giannis.
Giannis.
Athleticism, Giannis.
Giannis.
Defense, Giannis.
Giannis. Yeah.
Leadership, Giannis.
Giannis.
Giannis. Yep.
Leadership is
IQ.
so much Giannis. And I know somebody's going to say it, or maybe not be here, but maybe, I don't know. Somebody's going to think it, oh, KD's the better leader. What are you talking about? No. Giannis is by far the better leader than KD. KD is low-key antisocial. Low-key antisocial. Social. It is definitely Giannis. Definitely Giannis. I know some people don't have to be like a leader, like voice-wise. Some people just be like lead by example, be a leader. But being like a leader is Giannis.
Giannis can do both. He can lead by example and lead.
And, yep,
Yeah. All right. Basketball IQ.
KD.
Oh, KD.
Even though
Impact.
Giannis is cool though because he's like learning the game of basketball as he's in the NBA, like prehistoric time and stuff like that. And he like,
Mhm.
if you ever watch his interviews and stuff, it's very funny how like he brings up like old legends and stuff. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, this guy was very cool," and this,
Mhm.
Giannis is very cool, and his IQ is very underrated. Some people think, "Oh, he just dunk." No, he has very good IQ actually. But
Mhm.
KD's IQ, I'm gonna take KD.
All right. Better player or accolades. Accolades.
KD
KD for right now. Better player overall.
all time. Well, okay, over like right
Overall.
now,
Right now. Just overall. Not all time.
MG. What do you think? What do you think?
This is close. Better overall player. I'm gonna go with KD. Oh, I wanted to say Giannis so bad, but I'm gonna go with KD.
I'm gonna go with Giannis.
Mm,
I'm gonna go with Giannis.
okay.
I
It's
think KD's by far, not by far. KD's the better scorer, right? I think just the production he points on offense is really really good. But I
mhm,
think that the way Giannis does defensively, the way he impacts the defense on his team and just individually, also just
mhm,
outweighs KD defensively. And I think the point is like KD has honestly never had a superstar or an all-star teammate. Oh, my bad. My bad. He has an all-star teammate. Chris Middleton's an all-star type player. My apologies. Even Drew Holiday can be at times. But Giannis has never had that type of teammate like KD has, and he was able to win. I mean, think about it. KD had James Harden, KD, and didn't and lost in the finals, right?
mhm,
And blew a 3-1 lead to the Warriors when Giannis beat a very, very good Suns team, right?
mhm.
And I would argue that the teams that KD did face were better than the Suns team, but at the same time, the teammates that were around Giannis is by far worse than what KD had. But that's also before. I'm talking about overall right now. KD at his peak is definitely better than Giannis's peak. KD like with the first couple of years with the Warriors and his OKC days is KD is better than Giannis. But I think right now Giannis is just entering his peak. He's better right now than KD.
Okay,
Dude, that's crazy.
okay.
But if we're talking about, but if Giannis has similar accolades to KD by the end of his career, I'm definitely taking KD over Giannis. Okay.
All right. Corrupt. This one I actually wanted to do earlier. You got Shaq versus Hakeem. All
Okay.
right. Mid range. I'm going Hakeem. Inside, obviously, is Shaq.
Shaq or Rooney.
Post scoring, Hakeem.
Yeah.
Hakeem. I'm gonna go with because Hakeem had like footwork, but Shaq just had like he was just a bully.
He's one of the best. He might be the.
I think
I'm
Kareem's
gonna
the
go Shaq.
best post scorer.
I'm gonna
I'm
go
gonna
Shaq.
go Shaq for post scoring, but that's close. Dominance Shaq.
Why even have?
Perimeter defense. I guess Hakeem. Shaq slower.
I'm low key taking Hakeem.
Hakeem.
Just
Interior defense.
Hakeem.
Really? Okay. Okay.
You?
Ah,
I think
I'll
Hakeem's
go
just better
Hakeem.
defensively. I think that just overall Hakeem's better defensively.
Okay. Playmaking. I'm gonna go Hakeem.
Yeah.
Rebounding Shaq. Strength is obviously Shaq.
Yep.
Overall scoring Shaq. Who's better? Or
It
wait,
is
no.
better.
Who's better overall? Shaq or Hakeem? Accolade. Oh
So
wait, accolades goes to Shaq.
yeah, I could go Shaq easily.
All time. I'm gonna go with Shaq. Hakeem is underrated though.
Wow. 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 My goodness. Ask me that later.
Oh, he has to think about this. Hakeem was really good though.
He
Like
was really good.
very good. I think he's top five center all time. You got Kareem. Not in any order. Uh, Kareem, Bill Russell, Wilt, Shaq. Then yeah, Hakeem. So yeah, he's like the top five all time.
Yeah, he's top five.
Top five center all time. Ah. And he is the greatest Houston Rocket of all time. And then it's James Harden, and then it's Tracy McGrady, and then or Yao Ming or Tracy McGrady, however you want to do that. That doesn't matter. Gio, I didn't even see this comment until now. He says Katie's leadership is low key suspicious most of the time.
Yeah.
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 It's not like he's like a bad leader, like he like gets in the drama in the locker room, but it's just like I don't know. Like it's just like it seems like Katie's just he seems like he barely talks to anyone in the locker room. He just has his hoodie on and just goes about
Chill.
it. Yeah. But so corrupt. So today you've made the announcement, obviously, that Donovan Mitchell is trash, that he is not even a top 30 player in the league. So like, how did you come about this? Did you
Well,
just see what happened?
I've watched more Suns games. I had to open my mind. You have to stop being. Here's the thing, right? You have to open up about your biasness, right? You have to like, when you think about it, right? Because obviously, Donovan Mitchell was the player that actually probably got me into the basketball religiously. Like he was the first. I started getting into basketball in 2017. He was drafted in 2017, and he was the first couple. He was like, it was like during the school day. I watched Jonathan Mitchell like one of his dunks, and I was like, "Dang, that's really freaking cool. Why don't I watch this more?" Then I started watching him more because of Donovan Mitchell. So I had to get away from that a little bit, and it's really close, right?
Yes, it's close.
But honestly, just watching Devin Booker more and just realizing that like with the talent that Devin Booker had, he was able to go to deep in the playoffs. I had to take that, and
Rudy
it's the
Gobert
little
just
thing.
sucks.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert does suck, but it's the little things too. Like honestly, if you just go by skill challenge, right? They're like very just phenomenally close. Offensively, just in general, I'm taking Devin Booker. Defensively, in general, I'm taking Donovan Mitchell. And I think that because offense is such a big part of today's game, and that because of that the impact that Donovan Mitchell's defense on the Jazz does not like it's not as impactful as Rudy Gobert. He's under a coached system, and just because he has a lot of steals doesn't necessarily mean he's that much greater than a defender than Devin Booker. I realize like the only big thing that I really can just say for sure that Donovan Mitchell is just clearly better than Devin Booker at is 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
So I had to go with Devin Booker.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Did y'all ever do LBJ and MJ comparisons?
No, it just happens. That happens all the time. It just. I think Michael Jordan's the GOAT, and that debate. I feel like it gets so repetitive. Sometimes I just get tired of hearing that.
I think he's talking about like the Shaq versus Hakeem. Who's better finishing? That's what that's what
Yeah,
But it's easy. 3-point shooting, LeBron. Mid range, Michael Jordan. Finishing, Michael Jordan. Defense, Michael Jordan. Accolades, Michael Jordan. Scoring, Michael Jordan. Playmaking, LeBron James.
LeBron James,
Durability, LeBron James.
LeBron James, IQ, LeBron James. All see, it's kind of easy. Yeah, Karan. That's what I was just like. It's kind of.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, we've heard that. But there is a certain guy on this great YouTube platform who doesn't think Michael Jordan's even top 20 all the time. So, people have their opinions. But corrupts. This was interesting. This was interesting.
Yes.
Now, corrupts. Before I get out of here and all this stuff, after the playoffs, we need to do two things. We need to rank our top 20 players in the NBA.
We can honestly go a little bit more deeper than that, honestly. Top 30, top 40,
Top 30. Yep. So we'll do like top 20, top 30, top 25. It depends. We'll see.
Yep.
And after the playoffs, I'll see how we're feeling about things. Maybe we can have another debate show with other people on here.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
And corrupt. I'm telling you right now, if we have another debate show, Hayden is gonna probably be joining us, and I can't wait because that is gonna be interesting.
What? Oh,
yeah, bro. I can't wait for you to hear.
That's just bullying, though.
That's bullying. Bro, I can't wait to hear. Oh, you thought his Jokic take was ignorant yesterday. Oh, Hayden has some. He has some. And Hayden, when he actually believes something, he'll say it and he'll defend it. And then I'm thinking about having Hayden on there, and we'll have on maybe Josh Fury. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
Sean Fury.
Maybe Sean. Donnie. We can have we can have this big debate show, and like basically how I want to do it is like basically we go into the debates, right? Let's say our first one is player versus player, right? Mm-hmm. LeBron. Let's just for example, LeBron and MJ. I'll let everyone get their answer, everyone explain, and then whoever disagrees with who can give their explanations. We can have a civil debate and conversation. And
civil.
There. Civil. We'll try. And there's this one podcast that hopefully we can have a civil conversation because I've seen other podcasts be able to do it where multiple people, where like I'm talking like 5 or 6 people, were able to kind of like have a debate and have a conversation, and it didn't go too bad. It wasn't as all over the place as I thought. So I want to have a bigger debate show, and then we got to rank our players. So those are the 2 things we have to do next. Corrupts. Anything else you would like to say before we leave?
No, Gals Bruce. That's all I gotta say. Push the DeJounte Murray agenda.
Also, too, on our podcast for our playoff prediction episode, we'll probably have Corrupt on there. So, yeah, subscribe to that. Also, subscribe to Corrupt's channel, or else your team's gonna have bad luck and miss the playoffs every single year for the rest of your life. So, yeah. If you don't want your team to be jinxed, hey, we know Gio didn't subscribe to Corrupt because obviously the Bulls aren't doing the best right now. So, you want your team to get cursed? Yeah, don't subscribe to Corrupt. If you don't want to be cursed, if you want to be, you know what? I want to be a good guy. I want my team to have good luck. Then you know what you do? You subscribe to Corrupt's channel. But that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. It was fun today. Had some good conversations, some very well needed conversations about some players. Now I am done talking about the Lakers. I'm tired of hearing about them. We gave you our opinions about the Lakers. Russell Westbrook's not good anymore. LeBron James carries.
Bro, I talk about the Lakers so
I
much. Oh
can't
my god.
I can't tell you how many times I have to talk about or hear about the Lakers every day when I go and listen and talk about sports. That's it. No more Lakers for me. Unless they make the playoffs, so we have to talk about them in our playoff prediction. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate y'all for supporting. Go subscribe to me, subscribe to Corrupt, subscribe to everyone. Shout out to everyone who supported today. It was fun. And before we get out, quick fun fact: every time Corrupt is on the channel, Karam specifically has shown up to every single stream you've been here.
Wait,
Karam is not only a fan of me, but he is a big Corrupt fan, a very very big Corrupt fan, and a big supporter of the channel. So
I don't blame him.
yeah, I mean, look, I got the best sports basketball knowledge, obviously, and then Corrupt. He's a little bit under, but it's okay. He still has some good takes as well.
Okay, buddy. Okay.
But ladies and gentlemen, other than that, we will be out of here, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, you hit the like button and the subscribe button. Your team won't be cursed, and we'll see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll talk to you later. Until next time, we are out. Peace. Your mom's gay. What? Who?